Hey y'all, and welcome to Shade and the City. I'm your girl Treese, and of course, we are here to get back into, and thank God they're back. Beyond the Gates. This is season 1, episode 19. And yeah, this is Monday's episode. So Monday, March 24th. So if you haven't already, please make sure that you've hit that like button and you guys have subscribed as well. And yeah, let's jump right into it because it's been a long time. They should have left us, okay? And let's get shady, y'all. Y'all, so we got a lot to get into, okay? So Anita Dupree, we see her, she welcomes Elon, which happens to be, I was like, out of all the names they could have chosen, right? But they welcome Elon, which is the police chief and also Jacob's father, right? So he's over at the house, and apparently his wife Darlene is also a 911 dispatcher. We learned that Jacob has a brother named Luke, so I wonder if they're going to introduce him. He's also on the police force, so they starting to dig in. Okay, where I feel like we're about to start meeting new characters, start following, or when they want to bring them up out of nowhere. I feel like that's what's about to happen. Um, Anita tells him that she wants to really participate and help with his whole fallen officer fund situation. Um, and so I ain't even gonna hold you. My notes say that it sounded like Elon was expecting a check. Whereas Anita Dupree says that she plans to be very hands-on. Okay. And I don't know if anybody else peeped this, but I wrote this in my notes because I wanted to ask y'all in the comments. Do we think Anita got a little thing for Elon? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know what it was given. She was being overly friendly. I guess you would say borderline flirtatious. I don't know. Let me know if anybody else saw that, but I definitely saw it. So Anita goes on and on about how she has all these things planned for this event, I guess fundraiser. And then Elon gets a message from Jacob. So I don't know. I just felt like it was given. Anita wanted some younger, fresh meat. That's what it was given. And I was about to call him Clifton. Vernon Dupree is nowhere to be found. I forgot what he was supposed to be doing. So then we see Anita make a phone call when he leaves and lets the person know that Elon liked all their ideas. However, and then we see her, I guess after she get or while she's on the phone and she's looking at her old photos and kind of reminiscing over her glory days, as I would say. So then we see Naomi. Okay. She goes to see Jacob at work, and she's still going back and forth about this, whether she wants to take this case against her dad, and his firm, and it's attracting attention, and she doesn't want she doesn't want that attention. She's very low-key type of person. She's very opposite of her sister Chelsea. And so Jacob tells her that, the spotlight, I love what he said, the spotlight shines both ways. And he tells her that, her father's firm clearly has something to hide. And so some secrets need to be brought to the light. I said, you better, Jacob, for once, because any other time I really don't care for you, but I can appreciate you in this moment. Thank you for your services. So, yeah, then basically we see that Naomi is concerned about the press attention and feeling like her family drama is going to overshadow basically the victims and their stories. And so and she's like, but I don't know what to do because no lawyer wants to take on Bill, so it's either me or nothing. And he's like, well, I know what you should do. And of course we already know what he's going to tell her to do. Go talk to Anita Dupree, okay? The queen bee. She'll give you the answer. All right, y'all. This is where things get spicy. So Doug and Vanessa are having breakfast, and his phone starts buzzing. It's Randy wanting to know if he's coming to the casino that night. He lies and tells Vanessa it's a hospital about a CT machine that he's supposed to be having delivered. And so the only thing that I thought was weird, and I don't know if anybody else caught this, but I was like, you heartless, literally. Um, he says that the CT scan machine can pick up on like heart issues and heart problems before they even develop. And Vanessa's ass says, and I know we are not 15 minutes in, and I shouldn't be using curse words, but I was just so kerfuffled at the fact that she was like, "Oh, well, that could put you out of business, and so what are you planning to do with all that free time?" And he's like, "Spend it with you, boo. Spend all my time getting on your nerves." And obviously, we know she ain't here for that because she got Diego. And look, Vanessa is building her a starting five. Okay, whenever somebody need to rest, she gonna pull somebody off the bench. Please believe me, okay? So then Doug decides to leave and he forgets his ID. That's important. Put that in your back pocket, put that in the nuggets. He leaves the ID. Shortly after, Joey rolls in. Joey Armstrong. He spots Vanessa and he tells her, "Look, I've been wanting to get in contact with you." He said, "I've been looking for I've been looking for a home for my mama. My mama's older and she's kind of ill, and I just, I want her to have some dignity." So, Vanessa is like, "Oh, that's so sweet that, you're a son looking out for your mother." And then we see Doug circle back because remember what I told you? Y'all kept the nugget. Now you can pull the nugget out. All right. He left the ID. So then Doug sees her with Armstrong and he's like, "What the hell is going on? Did I miss something?" So he comes over and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I left my badge." And so Vanessa introduces him to Joey and they act like they don't know each other. And Joey lets him know that, he was talking to Vanessa about finding a house for his mom. And I love when Doug was like, "Well, Vanessa, she's very booked and busy. I don't even think she has time." And then he's like, "Oh, well," Joey's like, "Guess what? She made time. She's already made time." I said, "Yeah." So I don't know, and I don't know for whatever reason Vanessa seems attracted to Joey. So here's my theory, and this is what I love for y'all to do. Thank y'all for everybody. I cannot name off everybody right now, but thank y'all to everybody that literally drops in the comments and we literally have dialogue and we have conversation conversation about what we think is next or what's coming up. I appreciate it. It feeds my soul. I know I'm not in this alone and I'm not invested alone. Um but I think that Joey Vanessa can't mess with Diego because Diego has nothing to offer her. And I know that's gonna sound effed up, right? She might like the D, but he can't offer her anything else, not what Doug can offer her. So, in my opinion, yes, she has her own money, but she would be stupid to give up her husband for the pool boy. Let's just keep it 100, right? Or the trainer, okay? Um Joey got the money. And I don't know if she'll ever find out, but he might have the bean. So I don't know what she's gonna do. I mean, what Doug gonna do? I don't know. Cause once he started going broke, and I'm starting to think that maybe I don't know if Joey always had a thing for Vanessa, or if this has been like, he's been plotting on this because and this sounds so terrible, and I may be prejudging her, and I'll admit I'm prejudging her, but it gives me the vibe that Vanessa's about her money. So if Doug goes bankrupt or loses all his money gambling, that's a perfect way for old boy Joey to slide in. I don't know. Am I reaching? Am I doing too much, y'all? I'm just asking. I'm just asking for the people. But anyway, so anyway, Chelsea is back on the live. So we see that didn't last long. And she's on there with Kat. And so after they get off, Kat questions Chelsea if she's talked um about their purse line or like promoted it or shared about it, like kind of got a buzz going about, the purse lines with her followers. And Chelsea admits that she hasn't, but claims that she's waiting at the right time to drop this news, which Kat kind of gets on her, lets her know, like, look, we keep having this luxury brand reach out, trying to collaborate. And, Chelsea reminds her, but they wanted to launch a black owned brand, high quality, but still accessible. Okay. Let me know what y'all think. Am I the only one that thinks Kat should have been? And I don't know whose idea it was, and maybe it was their idea together. And I'm not saying I know they family, and that sounds terrible what I'm about to say, but I've been thinking this whole time, why hasn't Kat just went on and moved on with this business and went with this bag? And I know that sounds I know it sounds wrong. I'm just saying, if because the way Chelsea is playing right now, and I know she needs Chelsea's followers and whatever, but if she I know Kat ain't like that, and I like Kat, and that's why I'm happy she didn't do that. But I can't say I wouldn't have blamed her because she kind of holding up Kat's bag, okay? So um so yeah, so Chelsea doesn't want to be under the control of, some major company. Kat tells her that it's a big bag, they turn it down. And Chelsea isn't concerned because she says that her followers went up 30% after her mother's antics. So Kat is still confused, like, well, why aren't you using this time like to promote your brand? And so Kat tells her she needs to stop lying to her mom and let her know that basically she wants to stop modeling. Now, then we get into Eva. Eva is a little sneaky. We knew that, but she her again this sibling rivalry thing. If they really sisters, okay? Because I'm with y'all that don't think that they really related. I'm really with y'all. Trust me, I can believe anything. Okay, it's a soap opera. So Eva sees Tomas at the hospital and fakes an injury for attention. What's crazy? Okay, so this is what my notes say, because I don't know if anybody else beat this, right? I understand it's soap opera, but we got to call a thing, right? So Eva pretends to run into a cart or slip and fall or whatever. And she, bowls over in pain and oh. And my whole thing is Tomas runs to her. There was at least 3 nurses at that nurse's station. And you mean to tell me Tomas, that has no type of medical license or whatsoever, is the one that cleared her and said that she was okay inside the hospital where they could potentially be sued? Is it just me? I understand it's a soap opera, y'all. Some things got to make sense. Some things got to make sense. Now, if nobody was at the nurse's station, I might have let it slide. But that didn't make no sense. Okay. We asked him what he would think about, what Kat would think about him basically paying Captain Save a Ho. Let's just call a thing a thing. And Tomas tells her that he and Kat are keeping it casual. And I said, oh no, Tomas. Not you being a flip-flopper, a switcher upper. We don't do that. She asked Tomas if when he's helping her pick her things up or whatever. And she's like, oh, did you slip your card in here so I can call you and we can discuss, me suing the hospital over dinner? And Tomas is like, well, yo, if you serious, which you knew she wasn't serious, you little horny ass. You knew she wasn't serious. And he was like, but nah, I won't turn you down if you serious. So she learns, obviously we learn he's from Puerto Rico, and she brings up him taking Kat there. And he's like, well, why do you, and I was kind of wondering the same thing. Why do you keep dropping Kat's name? Is that not odd? If I'm trying to get in with you, but I know you trying to get in with her, how does me continuing to bring up her name? How's that sexy? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. But anyway, so she walks away. I think she leaves without his number. She tells him, she works for Nicole, doesn't want to piss Kat off, doesn't want to lose her job. And so yeah, basically, and then we see that Tomas gets a call from Kat, and she's like, well, what's been up? Why you been like ignoring me? You know what I mean? Like, you ain't been, I've been going to voicemail. And he was like, the same way you've been doing me. You remember that earlier in the week? And so, she's like, well, let's talk it out in person. And because she felt like he was being distant. And so she tells him to meet her at Offrey, what is it, Offrey Jeans. And so they go there to link up. Then we see, excuse me, y'all. Then we see Chelsea and Kat. They have moved their conversation. Well, they're at Offrey Jeans. So Kat is still on Chelsea about telling her mom. They do a practice round of her telling Danny, which doesn't go well. Chelsea mentions that maybe they should pause things with their purse line, which Kat is taken aback by, and I totally understand. She explains to Chelsea how hard she's worked to get them off the ground and how she missed her mom's event going to meet with these people. And Chelsea doesn't think, like, it's not that easy because her mom is going through it. And I'm sorry, when Kat tells her, oh, I forgot, your mom is the only one that has feelings. I said, but she had a point. She ain't say nothing wrong. So her response clearly rubs Chelsea the wrong way, of course. And so Kat tries to reiterate the purse line. Basically it's her dream and she needs to stop living her mother's dream. And so she apologizes for being a little slick at the mouth. And she tells Chelsea that, she should just make her see it a different way. And basically that she's kind of leveling up on the dream that she already had for her. And Chelsea kind of likes this idea, but worries her mother's still not going to accept it because it's not her mom's idea. So, and it's not what her mom wants to do. I don't think Danny's going to go with it, but I don't know because we didn't see Danny at all this episode. So they gave us a little break and I I can only imagine, or I hope that next time we see her, she's not somewhere drinking. Okay. So Naomi goes to talk to her grandma, Anita Dupree. Anita tells her that it's many reasons, basically for her not to take this case. And she understands all her concerns out the gate, that she discussed with Jacob. Her grandmother tells her that, she would be David going up against a Goliath, basically going up against her father. Naomi thinks that, Anita is kind of trying to talk her out of it. She was like, well, damn, grandma, okay, if you're saying I can't do it, just say that. And so Anita says, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just putting all the doubts like in front of you in your face. And then she said, if you really want to know what I think, I absolutely think that you could win this case. And she said, those women chose you for a reason. And she shares, her stories of her glory days with Naomi. And she reminds Naomi the strength of the Duprees that runs through her veins. And so back at Offrey Jeans, Joey's telling Vanessa he thought about all the details for his mama's house. And he's just, and she's just eating up all this devotion to his mother. And so, she's like, well, I found some prospective homes, so I'll let you know. And, he's like, I look good, forward to the partnership. And they shake hands a little too long. It was like that lingering shake where you don't let go. It was one of those. Okay. And so finally, Diego pops up. Oh, so that's what you doing? That's how you like it? You went from robbing the cradle to robbing the grave? And I said, and you are not her husband, sir. Get out of here. And so anyway, Vanessa basically lets him know that you are not my husband. I let you tap this when I feel that I want to hit that. And other than that, we are not dating exclusively. So stop checking up on me, bro. You getting a little clingy. Okay. It's a little bit much. So then we see Tomas and Kat at Offrey's, and she asked if, like, oh, are you concerned with me being a virgin? And he's like, no, I think it's admirable and it shows you have discipline. And she mentions that although she's not ready for that, she feels like he can show her a little affection. And I was kind of like, yeah, y'all, because this whole, I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but it was bothering me. This whole sit up straight and hold hands, and that was really bothering me. And because I don't think that's real when you go on a date. I don't think anybody sits up and you sit there and hold it. I don't think anybody does that. And I love me some Cat, but it just really bothered me. I was like, girl, can we just let it be a little bit? Or maybe she's just, I don't know. Anyway, so basically he's like, well, when I tried to kiss you on the cheek in front of your grandparents, you like said, and she was like, nah, I was just protecting you, like you don't want the wrath of my grandfather, whatever. So fine, so they finally have a kiss. I guess it's supposed to be magical to her. um she said that she's happy they talked things out, and Tomas says he wants to keep the communication open and honest, unlike his other, his past relationships. And this is when he should have told her about Eva, but he didn't. But he didn't. I don't like Tomas. And so then he, says he's gonna go back to the office. He done already took care of the bill, but he said, "Look, let me walk you out to the car." And I said, "Okay, Tomas." And now he got, and let me just cut it short because I don't even think I need to go back to that point. Um, but he got Kat running back to Chelsea at the country club to tell her, "Oh, girl, I think I want to give it to him." And Kat and Chelsea said, "Slow down. Are you in love?" And she's like, "No." And she's like, "Okay. So just wait for it. And when you're ready, you'll know. And when you're in love, you'll know. And you won't be sitting here having a conversation with me." And I said, that's probably the best thing I ever heard Chelsea say. I ain't even gonna hold you. Best thing. So then we see Jacob. He's called his dad, beckons his father, Elon, as we know. He wants to talk about Detective Malone. Tells, he tells him, Marcel's giving him a hard time. And, basically he feels like he tells him about the whole situation with Armstrong and how he feels like he's turning a blind eye to corruption. And his dad is like, okay, you got to be careful with that C word, okay? And he's like, he's been with the force for a long time. He's earned his stripes, and just sit back and watch. But I knew at this point when I don't know, I just feel like, yeah, your child is like new to the game, but he's a good cop, and I just kind of knew at that point that like Elon isn't what we think he is, but I also think that he wants to hunch Anita Dupree and she wants to hunch him. So I'm already looking at Elon different. I'm trying to see where they're gonna go with the storyline because I think he's gonna be hunching on Anita when Vernon's out of town. That's why they working on this fallen officer situation. That's just my thoughts. Y'all let me know what you think. Okay. So Randy runs over Randy runs into Doug at the hospital. Now, this is another question that I had. Why is it that we see Doug less at the hospital, but we see Nicole and Ted there more? Now, Ted, I think his actually makes sense for him to be there um, for what he does. Nicole is there often. I mean, psychiatry, okay, whatever, but she's there pretty often. But I just said it's the fact for me that we hardly ever see Doug actually at the hospital, which is the one place where I would think we would expect to see him. Maybe I'm the only one to notice. Hey, y'all let me know. Anyway, but so he lets Randy know that he ran into Joey and Vanessa. And so he's starting to question Joey's motives. And Randy's like, nah, I would let you know if he had ulterior motives. He good. He convinces him, yo, just go back to the casino. And so Doug agrees, but he's like, I got my eye on my good eye on Joey. And so then we see them back at the casino, and Joey is actually having a fit because Doug is actually winning. And he doesn't want him to be free. He wants him to stay locked down so he can control him. And so, Joey's like, you know what? I'm gonna let him have his moment. When he come back tomorrow, he's gonna completely lose. We see Chelsea low key practicing her speech. When Jacob rolls up on her asking questions like, "Oh, you out here talking to yourself or whatever," and so she's just asking his advice about like how is it working with a parent, but it's also your supervisor. And he basically tells her like, look, blurred lines happen, but I gotta respect my father, and basically the stripes that he got, that he's earned basically. And so, Chelsea is like, oh, I gotta tell my mom something. And I said, this is the most unendearing brother-in-law sister-in-law conversation, because I thought this was going to be like a sweet moment. And then she's like, yeah, I got to talk to my mom about something. And I thought like maybe she would disclose. And then Jacob's like, yeah, all right, I got to go. Yeah, I got to go do this workout. Okay. So Chelsea's still whatever. because we know Chelsea still don't want to tell her mama regardless. So I guess it doesn't matter who she talks to, right? So then we actually see now, this is the kicker, right? We see Elon roll up on Malone, who clearly doesn't respect him either. He's, talking a little sideways. And Elon asked where Jacob is. And he said he sent him, basically, Malone said he sent him on a dummy mission, is what I said. Elon lets him know that, look, my son is a good cop, but right now he's asking a lot of questions that I can't answer for him. So Elon reminds him that Jacob is his son. And if anything happens to him, he will come looking for Malone himself. And then we actually see Malone later on getting on the phone with Armstrong and letting him know he needs to chill out and stop being in these streets because and doing stupid stuff in front of kind of like a newbie cop because yeah, the block is hot. The block is hot. You know what I'm saying? But nah. Our Joe, I want to keep wanting to call him Armstrong. Joey said, nah, bro, that's what I pay you for. I ain't gotta be careful. That's what I pay you for. Why would I do that? Why would I proceed with caution when I'm paying for the caution? And I said, well, Joey has points. And so then we just see Vanessa and Diego back at the country club getting on. Then yeah, they in the episode. It was really cute with a scene of Anita showing off her, her beatbox skills and her freestyle to her granddaughter Naomi, and basically making fun of Naomi because she ain't got it. But it was really cute. It was a really cute moment, and definitely enjoyed it. And yeah, that was this episode of Beyond the Gates. I'm sorry. So yeah, guys, if you have not already, please, please, please make sure that you've hit that like button. Make sure that you guys have commented, and make sure that you have subscribed. And make sure that you're following us on all the platforms. That's the TikTok, the Twitter, the IG, and the Blue Sky. And yeah, y'all, I will catch you tomorrow for another recap of Beyond the Gates. But I'm happy that we're back because I missed them. But yeah, y'all, I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye bye.